All right. Good evening, everybody. We are live here for Sex, Love, Marriage, where we talk about all things sex, love, and marriage. For those who have never been here before, I'll give you a quick introduction. We will dive into tonight's topic. I probably won't be on too long tonight. I'm not feeling the best, but I'm here. So, always happy to be here to get these conversations started. So, welcome to another episode of Sex, Love, and Marriage. I am your favorite life coach and certified clinical sexologist, Coach K, here with another exciting episode and topic just for you. So, tonight's topic is internet relationships. And I really, hey, I haven't seen you in so long. Of course, I'll be following you on all social media platforms, especially TikTok. I'll be seeing you. But hey, how you doing? It's good to see you in here on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. Um, I know kind of in the description of what I was talking about. Thank you so much, Ken. I definitely the change of weather does not do right for me. I always know when fall is around the corner because when the seasons start going up and down, that's when my allergies and self just like oh. So once we get some stable weather in here, I'll be good. So thank you. Um, so, internet relationships, and actually, before I dive too far deep into it, I just want to give you some reminders of some upcoming events, give you opportunities to meet me in person or even online because I love putting on events for all of you. Um, so, as some of you know, and some of you may not know, I work with women and then I work with couples, and I work in both avenues with helping people and supporting people with growing their intimacy to have a more fulfilling sex life and sexual experiences with self and with their partners. And so with that, I do some one-on-one coaching, but I do a lot of events, a lot of workshops, a lot of talks. So if you're looking for someone at your next retreat, at your next event, let me know. But some events that I have coming up here, even this weekend, are the Talk to Me Nice, which is a couple's guide to oral play. That is on September the 24th. You can attend that online or you can attend that in person. It's an open house part two that is happening on Sunday, September the 25th. So that is this Sunday. That is a completely free networking event for anyone in the Richmond, Virginia, or just surrounding areas of Virginia. If you're within 4 hours driving distance to Richmond, this is something you want to attend. So it's an open house part two, September 25th, completely free, free networking for business owners and those who are thinking about going into business. Mindfuck is coming here to VA. I already premiered this at Sex Down South in Georgia the week before last. It was amazing. That is a couples sensual touch yoga. That is going to be on November the 5th. You can attend that virtually or in person. So be looking out for that. And then every single Wednesday, we do the couples mindfulness yoga right here, or you can attend that online as well. And then the last thing is the haunt at Norchest. This is for the kiddos. So we're going to have a little haunted house set up so you don't have to go out in the streets trick or treating this year. If you want a safe place to bring the kids, you can come right here. It's only $10 per child. It includes their treat bag. They get to walk around to the different stations, and then we're even going to send them home with a little dinner snack. They can choose from a hamburger, hot dog, and then a side and a drink to take home. So you don't have to worry about cooking dinner. So that's October 29th and 30th. So now that we got those announcements out the way, let's talk about this internet relationship. There are a couple of things that come to mind when I say internet relationships. Most people think immediately long distance relationship. So it's like, some people can do them, some people cannot. But when I say internet relationship, I mean in all aspects of the term internet relationship. This could be a long distance relationship. This could be a we live in the same city, but we mostly communicate via internet. This could be people who um, live together for the most part, but it could be that work schedules are so heavy or life is so hectic or they're always deployed or they're always on the go, and so they have to have the relationship via internet, but it's an internet based relationship. Some people are like, hey, that is for me, I'm all in it, and some people are like, hell no, I cannot do it, I need some physical in your face contact in order to gravitate towards you. But I guess that also comes down to knowing yourself. I won't limit anyone to just knowing their five love languages because there are many dynamic feelings and what thrives us. Some people do need that physical touch on a regular basis. Some people just need to be stimulated via the mind. Some people just need to talk on the phone. They may just need to hear the voice. Some people can, now that honestly, with the internet, you can do FaceTime, you can physically see each other. Um, Pretty much the only thing that you probably cannot do via the internet is physically reach out and touch the person that you're communicating with. And who knows, by so and so time, that might even be a thing. But an internet relationship, if we think about it, it can be one of the more dangerous relationships to have. And I say that because when we are behind a computer screen, when we're behind the phone, for those who are listening on Clubhouse, all they see is my picture. And this picture could be anything. If I decided to have all of the cameras off while I'm communicating with you guys on a weekly basis, you would only have to go by what you see via the internet. And as many of us know, you can become anybody or anything that you want to behind a computer screen or behind a phone. And so why can an internet relationship be one of the more dangerous ones is because it is possible that you don't know who you're getting into a relationship with. And yes, I will talk about the good side, but I'm starting with this so that we can end on the higher note. So take someone who think about the show. I don't know if you guys have Netflix, look up the show. It's called The Circle. And The Circle is like a social experiment. And I really do like it because it truly shows you what I'm speaking about in terms of having an internet based relationship, solely internet relationship, can be dangerous because you don't know who it is that you're speaking to on the other end. You don't know how much research someone has done on you, depending on how much you disclose on the internet, that they figured you out and they know what to say, they know what to do, they know, how to handle you based on what they've researched about you, and they don't even have to be anywhere close to who you think they are because they could just be playing a part. It really saddens me to see how many, especially young girls and boys, are being snatched because of internet relationships. I'm very, I'm almost like a helicopter mom when it comes to my children being on certain games because those games can be on the internet. And I'm always paying attention. I don't hawk them, but I'm always paying attention. I'm listening to the voices of the people that they're speaking to. I'm making it very clear on a regular basis, do not share certain details with these people on the internet, because when I say internet relationship, it could be a friendship. I'm not just talking about sexual relationships always. Hey, this is sex, love, and marriage. So we could be talking about all things in that avenue. Friendships usually, can lead to a romantic relationship. But when we think about it, when we're becoming friends, we're open to sharing a lot of information. And especially for young people, they're going to answer questions without thought about, what school do you go to? What grade are you in? Around about what do you live close by? I had to take me a drink real quick, guys. And so I'm very particular when it comes to that. And just like our children are not really thinking as adults when we start to speak with people who we meet on the internet, especially with this, these DMs and PMs that people are sending via Facebook and Instagram and Clubhouse. Now you can just kind of, ping somebody behind the scenes and hope that they answer. I know in particular there was a guy who, he went through and he messaged about 8 to 15 different girls in one night, and whoever bit is the one that he dealt with, and they ended up in a relationship for about 6 months. And within that 6 months, the young lady realized, okay, this is not this is not who I thought I was getting into a relationship with. Luckily that didn't end in a dangerous place, but you want to be very careful when you are looking into getting into internet relationships. You want to be able to um, have some kind of FaceTime with that person. You want to be able to pay attention to what they're telling you. You want to be able to ask questions without without them feeling like, defensive. If so, then that's kind of a red flag. So if you are going to be into that, internet relationship, we don't want it to be on the more dangerous side. So let's think about the more positive side of being in an internet relationship. When you're not, I'd say, distracted by what someone looks like, what someone feels like, how someone kisses. When you're not distracted by the physical aspect of being in person with someone, and you only have this communication via the internet to go by, it could be that you've never heard their voice before at all. So you are able to kind of create this being in your mind. And so internet relationship can absolutely be one of the most positive things in the world that you could ever have. There are people who meet on the internet all the time and they end up married. And that's because they've probably asked all of the right questions. They probably paid attention to those answers. And here's the thing, when you're in an internet based relationship, ask the same question different ways at different periods throughout your relationship. That's a way to kind of find out if this person is really who they say they are, or they're just feeding you a line of crap. And I'm not saying that an answer you may get on the 13th of June would be the exact same as next May 15th, because in almost a year's time, someone may change. I'm really talking about, in a 30-day span, if you're curious about something and it seemed like, this person's hesitant about speaking about something, it's okay to ask those questions. If someone is offended or upset by you asking questions to get to know them deeper and further, then let your radars go up and say, you know what, maybe this isn't the person for me. Be very cautious of internet based relationships, that you don't get caught up in the awesomeness of just not having to deal with a person that when you all do meet, you don't know what to do, because that also can be an absolute downfall of an internet based relationship. If you have taken time to build this non physical, non visual relationship with someone, and you've created this persona of who that person would be, and maybe you did not ask any questions of what do they look like, how tall are they, what are their favorite clothes to wear, whatever those small details are, you didn't ask. And so you created this person, and then you meet for the first time in person. And because they don't match what you created in your mind, and I know you guys see me looking around a little bit, I'm gonna just let you know, before I started this live, there was this ginormous spider in here. And I'm pretty sure that I got it, but I'm still terrified because he was like almost the size of my hand. And yes, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he was big. So if you created this persona of this person in your mind, and then when they show up, it is not that, that could be a setback on you. And so being in an internet-based relationship, it does take a great strength on both parties. You want to know that this is something that you absolutely want to do. This is not something that you should enter in lightly just because you want companionship. You want to be very cautious on your purpose of being in this relationship. If you've never been in an internet relationship before and say the other person has, then they're going to have certain skill set that may make you feel less than, which could also be a downfall of the relationship. So communication is key in just a normal everyday relationship where people get to see each other. It is magnified when you're in an internet based relationship. And also, I want you just to remember that an internet based relationship does not automatically equal a long distance relationship. An internet based relationship is just that, one that is completely started, immersed in internet. We're seeing this a lot more, of course, since 2020 when everyone was kind of locked in at home. And so the internet was all you had. Virtual was our literal reality. And so people were meeting online. There were a crap ton of new dating sites that popped up all over everywhere. There were folks just doing, secluded meetups every once in a while, which again, kind of get into that danger zone when you're meeting someone who you really don't know anywhere. I do think it's a beautiful thing if you have an internet-based relationship, but I also think that it can be a deterrent of I don't want to say a normal relationship because I like to be very careful to not just normalize one way of being. I'll say the traditional relationship. If you find that you would prefer to not have any type of physical contact with someone, or you prefer to not have someone in your immediate space, then if you have gone through whatever healing process that you've gone through and you know exactly why that is, then by all means, go into that internet based relationship on purpose and based in exactly what you want. But if you know that you are someone who does not want to be physically around others or do not enjoy having others in your space, I would encourage you to find out the root of that. And once you're able to find the root of that, then you can make an informed decision to walk into that internet based relationship just on purpose. Because yes, people can use internet relationships as a cover for whatever it is that they no longer want to feel, to cover whatever healing process that they no longer want to even, go on. Um, Sometimes internet relationships happen by accident, and I think that's beautiful if it is. If you find yourself just completely comfortable saying, "Hey, if I never meet you, I don't care." But another thing with internet relationships is a lot of times they stay in a gray area. And so if you're talking to someone who's talking to multiple other someones, or you're the one that's talking to multiple other someones, I think that is something that should be disclosed to each other. Because if things kind of go a little bit further, and I know you have seen this, I know I have seen this, where something started out as a flirtation and a DM, then you all start communicating more, and then someone gets serious, and then they start, meeting up. Come to find out, one of the parties is married or in a serious relationship, and then someone gets hurt. So if you're going to be in that internet relationship, I mean, any relationship, again, communication is key, but in an internet based relationship, Communication is key, magnified times 10. Ask the questions. The most important question is, are you talking with multiple people? And make it clear it's okay that you're talking to multiple people. You just want to know where you guys stand so that it does not go into a sticky or icky or scary or dangerous situation. It's an informed situation. So if you are in or you know someone who is in an internet relationship or you're thinking about getting into an internet relationship and you're kind of like, I'm kind of fearful, or somebody messaged me and I kind of want to, but I don't know how to, I am more than happy to talk with you further about it, walk you through those steps, help you to feel a little more comfortable, ensure that you're asking those questions to keep yourself safe, not just from physical harm, but from mental stressors as well. So I do encourage you to feel free to reach out. If not to me, find a dating coach. There are plenty of dating coaches out there that may specialize in internet relationships. I'm not the end all be all. Y'all know I'm not here to be right. I'm only here to be heard and to get the conversations started. So my voice is starting to go a little bit down. So I am going to cut us off a little bit early tonight. I do thank you for always joining me here, knowing that I am here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sex, Love, and Marriage. Next week, see, I'm so confused. This is my last week. Next week, our topic is Take That Split and Grow. We're going to be talking about growing from the loss of relationships versus dwelling in them. So, if you have any questions or you want to send any anonymous questions in, you can always do that. If there are any topics that you ever like to hear about, feel free to reach out to me directly and let me know, and I will make sure I get those on the calendar. Anyone who's listening on Clubhouse or Instagram, I encourage you to channel yourself over to my YouTube, because eventually that's the only place you'll find me is going to be YouTube. You can search me on all platforms at Coach K101. That's CoachKay 101. I thank you all. If you're catching the replay, make sure you go to the beginning and hear about all the events that I have coming up. And be sure to join me back here next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Sex, Love, Marriage. Good night, everybody.